Welcome back to Radical Mothering. Today we're going to make apple dumplings. You're going to need some apples, some butter, some sugar with cinnamon and nutmeg in it, pie crust. These are store-bought pie crusts. I don't make my own. I buy them in bulk. And then something to core your apples with. Core and peel your apples. You can use either an apple core spiralizer peeler thing or a knife. Your decision. I'm going to use, and you need a pan. And you need some syrup. And I'll talk about the syrup in a little bit. So I'm going to use my peeler spiralizer corer thing. And mine's pretty old and it's broken. And the little release lever that Zoe's showing me right now that I know is there is actually really sticky. And I'm missing one of the pins in it, but it still works. So I'm going to stick my apples on and get to peeling. So this video, you're going to get a 2-for-1 because with the peels and the cores, I'm going to show you how you're going to make apple cider vinegar. So we're just going to throw these in the jar and we'll get to those in just a little bit. My kids really like how the apples get springy with the spirals. I have to tell them not to break them, especially when I'm going to do dumplings. So you just put your apples into the pie crust, put a little bit of sugar into the center and top with the pat of butter, and then roll the whole thing up into the pie crust. And you don't have to make it super pretty. If you want to, you can. It's a little easier to make them super pretty if you have square pieces of pie crust. And these are just, like I said, store-bought pie crusts. I think they're Pillsbury. I bought them for, I think, 2 for $1. So I usually, when I see those good deals, I usually get about 12, sometimes a few more than that. And I just stick them in my freezer. They freeze really well, and I use them for all sorts of stuff. So we're just getting these all done, and then we're gonna, magic of editing, we've got the finished apples. We're gonna roll them all up into their balls. I made these for dessert last night, and everybody loved them. And now, as I'm doing this voiceover, I am watching what is so far 5 inches of snow falling in the middle of October in Minnesota. So it's baking season, baking every day season. Yesterday it was apple dumplings, and today it was chocolate chip cookies. So we'll get these all filled up with the sugar, and you can put as much or as little sugar as you want to. And I really think that the nutmeg and the cinnamon is per your own taste. I happen to really like nutmeg and cinnamon, so lots goes in. So now we're going to take the syrup, and the syrup is 1 part sugar, 2 parts water, and about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of butter. And I boil it for a few minutes and then pour it on top of and around all of the dumplings. Well, while those cook, we're going to do the apple cider vinegar. So you need a little bit of Bragg's for a starter. At least I like to use it. You don't have to. You need filtered water and you need some sugar. Don't use your tap water, especially if you live in the city, because of chlorination and anything else they put in the water. So for every 2 cups, and this measuring cup is a 2-cup measuring, for every 2 cups of water, you want to put, or for each cup of water rather, you want to put in a tablespoon of sugar. So 6 cups of water, 6 tablespoons of sugar, plus a little bit of the spoonful of Bragg's to give it a little starter. Give it a good stir. And you can use this like you would use any apple cider vinegar. You're going to stick it in a dry, warm place in a dark place for 2 weeks. Then you're going to strain it, Then you're going to cover it back up again and let it sit for another couple of weeks, and then you've got your vinegar. Now the dumplings are done, and we're going to take some of the syrup with a spoon and just top them again with the syrup. And I did top them once in the middle of the cooking process with the syrup just to glaze up and crisp up the pie crust. These are so good, you guys. And here's the finished result with a little scoop of Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream. The inside is nice and warm, and it's really caramely on the inside. It's such a great dessert. So I hope you try it.